Happy Devils Monday. This is the Let's Go Devils podcast. News break. Devils has just finished, along with the NHL, the 2021 trade deadline. I'm your host, Sam Wu, here with Shorts Guy, streaming live on Facebook Live, Twitter Live, YouTube Live, and Twitch on the Primetime Radio Network. Today's question, how would you rate the Devils 2021 NHL trade deadline? Shorts Guy? It was somewhat eventful, but nothing headliner.
No, I'm willing to say that the biggest headline of our day today was a loss with Vatanen getting picked up by the Dallas. Basically, got nothing in return. But when a player goes on waivers, he could potentially be picked up by anyone. That to me was the shock of the day. That he was just plucked away from us for nothing. So either A, he had no trade value, or B, the Devils just didn't want him, which is odd thinking that, but what was it? Kulikov went for a conditional fourth, which couldn't turn into a third. That was basically the two moves of our day. Was Kulikov going to the Oilers for a conditional pick, and then we lost Vatanen for nothing.
To the Dallas Stars for the remainder of the season. Also, just looking over here, sorry.
And that Edmonton pick isn't even until 2022. And it's conditioned on if they win their first playoff round or not. If they win their first playoff round, it becomes a third. If they don't, it remains a fourth. So we actually have to hope that Edmonton, at least makes it past that first round, which they should in their division. I got to look who their potential matchup could be for the playoffs, but I think there's still some time left for that. But so we need to have them, win that first round, and that becomes a third, which I think is a little bit better than a fourth. That was our today. There seemed to be some other action around the league. Unfortunately, as I was hoping to watch the NHL Network all day just to catch all the action, my cable company decided to switch services today, and I no longer have the NHL Network right now. So I can't even stay on top of this. Yeah,
you got to tell me these things, Shorts Guy, because I would have just given you my online account. You could have watched. You could have watched in the confines of your own home.
I could have done that, but I needed both of my laptops for work today, so I really couldn't connect one to the TV. But that was basically our day today. There's a lot going around the NHL too. Some pretty good stuff, which I'm sure we'll get into a little bit more depth in Hockey on Tap. On
the Primetime Radio Network at 8 p.m. Eastern. Shorts Guy, Billy Dean, Little Steve and
Schwim. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tonight at 8 o'clock, Hockey on Tap on the Primetime Radio Network. I'm sure we'll probably break down all of what all of our teams did. The Devils brought in one individual and more picks than players. We let a lot go. Your question: how would you rate the trade deadline? I guess okay. From what we've seen. As far as other players, for picks, being able to get the Islanders' first round pick, I think was good. We gave up a lot with Travis and Kyle going to the island, but we have their first.
Give a letter grade. You're a teacher. Give a letter grade.
C.
I was going to give a C plus, and the only reason why I say a plus on there is strictly because he was able to get a first rounder, Tom Fitzgerald. Yeah. Some of the comments are coming in on YouTube Live. Nicholas says, I'm satisfied. I wish Vots didn't get taken, but I think went as good as we could have. And I think I forgot who. I think it was Ray Leo, I think, says that he's surprised that Ryan Murray is still here. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, we had, I would agree with Ray. we were all talking last night, after the podcast, of we thought that he would be on his way out. We were talking this. We saw the dominoes falling. It seemed less and less likely that he was going to go. I'm surprised. Um, I'm surprised that he's still on this team, and I think that's true about the Vatanen deal. I think that the day would have felt better and could have been a B plus had we gotten something for Vatanen, but it seems to be like we just that one to me just it does not feel right with the fact that he just went. We lost him for nothing.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Now the young kids can play. There's some roster spots. I think it's right now. Just give some of these young kids a chance. Look, there's some nice things happening in the near future. Right now, Tom Fitzgerald said that the Devils are working on a contract with 2020 first rounder Alexander Holtz, who has finished his season with Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
He would need to deal with immigration and quarantine, just like how Bratt and Vatanen did. But there's no timetable for him. But he will be on his way to North America, so that's some good news.
But
Possibly
when
we'll get
though? But
well.
when? Like
Well,
that all
shorts
sounds.
guy, it's this is a start. You can't,
It's a
what else are they
start.
going to do?
It's a start. But I'm just saying it doesn't. He's just the way he's saying. Well, we got to go through immigration and this and that. It almost sounds like he's kind of setting it up to be like, yeah, we're talking to him, but don't expect him this year. I
Oh,
could be
you look
complete.
at it that way?
Yeah, it just sounds like, well, immigration and this and that, and then plus with the COVID protocols, like even if they got him here tomorrow, physically in the United States tomorrow, we wouldn't be able to see him, with the COVID protocols until the 27th of April. Um, and then I guess he's also going to either not want to or not make that Swedish national team, because otherwise he would have to go, you know, immediately back, like what by the time that COVID protocol is over. So I mean, I don't know. It almost sounds like he's like making a list of excuses for why we're not going to see him this year. So we can just be like, well, he got stuck in immigration, make it this season. Um,
Yeah. Uh,
I'm not holding my breath on seeing him this year. I was more hopeful last night, but then after reading and seeing that list of like, well, this is what we're trying to do. It's like with the time that's available left in this season,
I was hoping to see one game. That's all. That's what my hope was. You don't think we're going to see one game?
I don't
Glimpse of
even
the
know if there's a
future?
point. I don't know if there's a point to
Yeah.
do that. You know what I mean? Like he would be here. Like I said, if he's here tomorrow, the first game he would be available after 2 weeks would be Philly. He'd be available for 4, 5, 6, 7, and then potentially 8. I'm sorry, I missed one. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. I can't count. Um, and make a beeline right for a flight to go back to Sweden. I don't know, and that's if he's in country tomorrow.
Yeah.
For every day he's not in country. That's another day. 2 weeks plus, 2 weeks plus. So I'm not going to hold my breath on seeing him after hearing that.
Well, Bastion returned to practice today.
That's a good thing.
That's a good thing. Zaka uh, doesn't
Yeah,
look
was there any
like.
update on his injury?
No, not really. I don't see.
Okay.
Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter. You guys know anything about Zaka? He sure is expected to play tomorrow. Not
Yep, that's a good
100%
thing.
yet, but hey, Scotty was talking about having him back for Rangers Hate Week, or is
Mm-hmm.
what the Devils call the Hudson River rivalry.
Well, we use that with the Red Bulls, against City, the Hudson
Eh,
River Derby. But they've always been the rivals across the river. But I like the sound of Ranger Hate Week better. Ranger Hate Week sounds so
Yeah,
much better.
Ranger
It's got
Hate
more of
Week
a flair
starts.
to it.
Yeah, I mean Ranger Hate Week starts tomorrow. We wanted to start Ranger Hate Week, after NHL trade deadline, but really,
Yep.
unofficially starts after this podcast, right? We've got some Ranger suck confetti here. I know
There
those
we
are a
go.
fan favorite. I'll, there could be a chance that maybe at Taj Lounge 973 tomorrow. I'm not so sure for Ranger Hate Week. We'll have to work about that. Also, I got the sign behind me. Rangers suck. We're going to be talking about all the times the Rangers sucked. You know what I want to talk about on the podcast later this week is the biggest Rangers free agent bust that came from New Jersey. Scott Gomez, Bobby Holik, right? Would you put Johnny Mack in that category? I don't know. I like Johnny Mack.
I don't know. I like Johnny Mack too, and he went through a lot when he became our coach and all that mess. But no, I don't know if he'd be one of the biggest free agent busts from New Jersey. But the guys that chase the bright lights and the big dollar signs, it's not inside as much as it looks. So they didn't do well when they went there. But we can definitely talk about that later in the week.
Yeah. Rich says F the Rangers. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about that. Check our social media sites at Let's Go Devils Podcast on Facebook and Instagram and our Twitter account at Let's Go Devils Pod, or even our YouTube channel, Let's Go Devils. Yeah, we're gonna be putting up some content, original content. How much we hate the Rangers. We'll be asking you, the fans, as well. I've been looking forward to Ranger Hate Week. We had this marked on the calendar back in January. Did. Yeah. We're like, whoa, 4 in a row. Now, I'll tell you what, if the Devils can win 4 in a row, that changes my whole perspective of pretty much everything. It's kind of like what the conversation we had last night off air. It's like, there could be a player that we could absolutely hate and just be on him the entire time. As soon as he comes to the Devils, like, hey, he's not a bad player. I kind of like him.
I'll tell you what, I feel that way about Capitals legend Henrik Lundqvist.
Oh yeah.
As soon as he went to Washington, I was like, oh, he's a decent guy. He's also a legend for the Capitals, which I see. Jalen just commented in the group. Jalen, what's going on? It's a good welcome to Ranger Hate Week.
Yeah.
So Capitals legend Henrik Lundqvist is one of those players that hated. And as soon as he was wearing that Capitals jersey for the 10 minutes, unfortunately, due to medical reasons, he wore it, I liked him a lot better.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome to Rangers Hate Week. I rate the Devils 2021 NHL trade deadline as a C+. Short Sky rated as a C. I don't know, but I'll tell you what, my ratings may change in 5 years. See how these draft picks pan out.
You can't go back and retroactively change them.
Yeah. Well, I'll drop the podcast in about 20 minutes. So long, everybody. Let's go, Devils.